Hello, Anne Spencer here. It's the last of the tea, but join me with my tea. You will know, if you have been listening to previous podcasts, that it was all audio, and now here I am in the flesh. But lo and behold, this will be a journey because I really don't know what I'm doing as such, and I hope each time you see me, hopefully 10 minutes every day, if I can, I should have improved. Backdrop, music, everything. You know what I mean? Already I've made a mistake. Audio. So if you're even doing a podcast yourself or just trying to get into it, you could learn from my mistakes. Here's the first one. Should just really cut it off, shouldn't I? Little mic. Yeah, little mic. Plug it into the flipping camera. Yeah, you couldn't make it up, right? You couldn't. Sorry, folks. Couldn't make it up. Oh. Maybe turn my music down a bit. ASMR. So what you do is put this onto your scarf or any piece of clothing that you might have. Already do you hear the difference? That is amazing. The reason I know that is because I've heard it before. By now you'll be watching this because I would have downloaded it onto YouTube. Uncut, might I say, and uncut is probably the best. Let me just turn that down. Little candle. Environment. If you want to drop me a line and, to let me know if there's anything else that I can do to improve it, then I'll be happy with that. But overall, what this is about is connecting with each other, me with you, you with me, learning along the way. Now, it can be, I was going to do a channel for over 50s actually, and I'm well over that. But I think a lot of the things that I'll be touching on will apply to everybody and anybody. But it's good to, I was told that it's very good if you really want to do a podcast to aim on one subject so people know what they're channeling into. But overall, I can't do that because I talk about so many different things. So really what a microphone here, I might add, is the one that I used for the audio way back in lockdown. Can you tell me that you love me? And I can't help that. But it's broken off its stand, so I need to get a new one. But as things go now, I just want to check to see if I'm on the right track with this. So I'll be talking a little bit about myself and what I do, and one of which is acting, and that's the thing. Because in acting you could be any age, and I will be giving some really good tips that I've learned. When I say tips, from practitioners that many actors will know, and even talking about monologues. So there's different sections to this, but in terms of learning or really sort of immersing yourself in acting and finding presence on stage and all of those things that go to help you find a character and become real on stage as an actor, is where I actually found the ability to be present, not just in acting, so that would help you, but in day-to-day life. And that's the whole thing about acting and various workshops that come from that, and that would be called drama therapy, I reckon, which I'll be attending next year sometime. Covers so many different things within life, because it's breathing, it's being aware of yourself, it's understanding your movements, all those different things come into it. It's reacting. I mean, it's not just, reacting, it's receiving information and responding. So you're responding even just physically and not so much verbally, which really, at the end of the day, is very good to stop talking at some point in time in your life, as I've been told. But today it's probably a good idea, or it's probably an advantage that I can talk. Anyway, lagom is what I've spoken about in the past, on one of my channels. I don't really want to show that too much, but in one of the episodes, I should say, about the Lagom way of life, and it's not, nothing is set in stone, is it? It's like a case of being open to everything and attached to nothing. But little pieces of everything go a long way to give you an easier life, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here for that, for me. And as well as that, if I can help you and you can help me, that's all that matters, isn't it? So different things I do want to cover. In fact, because this is so candid, and it is, I won't go too much into any one thing, because this is only an introduction. And hopefully if you drop me some lines of where you think or what you would like to discuss, if you are over 50, 40 or 60. I turned 61 yesterday. Yep, in lockdown I turned 60. It's that sort of big one that makes you wake up, and we were all waking up to something, somehow, in a weird existential way with lockdown. But then reaching a certain age, on top of being in lockdown, it gets you thinking about what's possible within you to change or within you to do. There's certain things that we know, well, there's probably loads of things that we all want to do and we've never actually done them. Why is that? Fear of not being able, fear of failing. But of course, if you don't fail, then you never learn. And that is what I keep telling myself, which is why I'm here, probably failing at a podcast. But, you know, with all that, I could be learning, don't you think? And you could be learning off me as well. So that's where we're at. That's where I want to go on this particular journey. I mean, as I say, I won't be editing this. Number one, because I can't. And I have the GarageBand that I did, some people might recognise that, my audio on, and then I could edit that on my PC and put it onto YouTube. But with this new film, I can't seem to download that onto my PC to edit it. I could maybe edit it on my phone, but it wouldn't be that good, or could I? Right, well, you'll see the final result, and probably it'll just be like this. Anyway, learning the lessons of life. This, you might think this is probably not inappropriate, but unusual. But I'm wearing this because life is unusual, isn't it? It really is. It's a bit weird. And I think because we're in lockdown, like I say, with it being unprecedented, that we'd never believe that all travel, including planes, could just stop. I, in my life, never thought that could ever happen. But it allows you to think that anything can happen and anything should happen, whether it's external of you or whether you could maybe do it for yourself. Yeah, now there's a thing. There's a thing. So, lagom, in other words, not too little, not too much, just enough is where it's at. So I've run out of things to say in a kind of ad-lib way. I only wanted to introduce this to see how it went, and if I watch it and look at it on my YouTube channel and it's acceptable, well, I'll be impressed myself. But if it's not acceptable, it'll still be on. Any advice you can give me, please drop me a line, and that includes backdrop. I'm just warming up, that's all. So, namaste. Thanks a lot for joining. Good little thing, that. Good little thing.